This is fantasy land. We're talking about ending the war. My God, we're just starting a war right today. There was a vote in the Senate today. Joe Lieberman, who authored the Iraq resolution, has authored another resolution, and it is essentially a fig leaf to let George Bush go to war with Iran. And I want to congratulate Biden for voting against it, Dodd for voting against it, and I'm ashamed of you, Hillary, for voting for it. You're not going to get another shot at this, because what's happened, if this war ensues, we invade, and they're looking for an excuse to do it. And Obama was not even there to vote.
Senator Clinton, I want to give you a chance to respond.
Well, I don't know where to start, but let me...
Please take 30 seconds.
Yes, let me respond. My understanding of the Revolutionary Guard in Iran is that it is promoting terrorism, it is manufacturing weapons that are used against our troops in Iraq. It is certainly the main agent of support for Hezbollah, Hamas, and others. And in what we voted for today, we will have an opportunity to designate it as a terrorist organization, which gives us the options to be able to impose sanctions on the primary leaders to try to begin to put some teeth into all this talk about dealing with Iran. We wouldn't be where we are today if the Bush administration hadn't outsourced our diplomacy with respect to Iran and ignored Iran and called it part of the axis of evil. Now we've got to make up for lost time and lost ground.
Containment will not work.
I agree with that. My personal position on that is this: we ought to try every possible avenue we can to see if we can get them to correct their desire and goal of acquiring a nuclear weapon, but we cannot let them acquire that weapon. We are the only country in the world that can stop that. The Israelis, in my opinion, do not have the capability of stopping it. They can delay it. There will also be many, many side effects, all of them adverse, from an Israeli strike. But at the end of the day, if we don't get it done the way the administration's working on it now, which I totally agree with, then we ought to take them out.
Secretary Clinton.
Well, we're working hard. We're working hard.
Compare Iraq, where there was intervention, with Syria, where there was no intervention.
Just shows you how hard it is to make these choices, which is why I'm calling the book Hard Choices. Because I did advocate for limited but focused action in Syria to try to vet, train, and equip moderate opponents of Assad.
And you were overruled by the president.
I was overruled, in part because of the lessons from Iraq. It's hard to get a little bit pregnant, so to speak, in being involved in these countries' internal conflicts, but I did think there was a potential role. Now, of course, what I say in the book was a wicked problem has become even wickeder.
Secretary, let's turn, if we can, to Libya. The UN and human rights groups are calling for an investigation, saying that if, as it appears from the videotape, that Gaddafi was executed, it was a war crime. And you're also coming under fire for what you said.
So, I mean, that is the land of unconfirmed.
Yes, we came. We saw, he died.
Did it have anything to do with your visit?
No, I'm sure it did.
Secretary, do you regret what you said?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. We didn't even know what was happening at that time because it was an unconfirmed report.